Hello and welcome to the second exercise video here for lesson 5. So what we will do here, we will go through two sheets, 2 pages here, 2 screens, one with exercise B1, 6 sentences, and one with B2, which also has 6 sentences. And on the first one, here we start with Devanagari, and our goal is to go to English. And on the B2 sheet, it's just the opposite. We start with English. Before we start, I also would like to mention that we now have separate PDF files that you can download, where we have there are two PDFs. One PDF with the exercises themselves as I present them in this video, and then you have another download for the answers. So you can either print out those or look at those meanwhile you are watching this one, or you can hand copy the sheets here. I will show you these 2 sheets now, 5 seconds each. So I'm starting with B1 now. And I'm now switching to B2, 5 seconds. And then let's start solving these or answering these. Okay, so we have B1. Let's see here, we have the transliteration first here, when we are coming from Devanagari. So aham, jayami, long ah there, jayami. And so this is just I, the pronoun I, aham, and we have jayami, which is it's jayati, but in first person singular. So we get I conquer, and as usual we have our implicit pronoun in the verb, which we always write out. On the eswo line, the English with Sanskrit word order, we always write that out. And then on the English line, we do simplification, I conquer. And when we do this, as I usually point out here, if we have a pronoun, we let that be the subject in the English sentence, and then we just bracket those. You don't have to bracket it on your paper, but we're thinking like that. That since we have a pronoun, the pronoun sort of overrides. Trumps the implicit subject in the verb. Alright, so I conquer, and that's the answer on number 1 there. Number 2, yuyam. Let's do our transliteration. Long yuyam, and then we have smarata, and that smarata, like that. And this is of course smarati, so it's about remembering. So yuyam is remembering. So what is yuyam? Yuyam is you all, y'all, as they would say in the southern states. Y'all remembering. you all remember. like that, and then so this is eswo here then, and our English comes then have a big letter in the beginning there, you all, and then we simplify here like that, and the same thing goes on here now, that what I'm doing. Okay, number 3, taha gachanti. Okay, we do transliteration, taha, and we have a C and then a cha, and then we have the NTI for plural, and we are having gachati here in a guest performance here, and so we're talking about going, someone is going, and it is taha, they all, F, they all. It could be some women who are going, or it may be something else that are that is has a has a gender, grammatical gender of feminine. They all go. So the English line then becomes they all F go. And it's the same simplification here. I do it again here, like that. Okay, number 4, we are at Vayam Bodhamaha. So Vayam Bodhamaha. It's a long A there, and then a short A. Bodhamaha. Okay. And Vayam, that is we all. So we have our eswo line here. We all, what are we doing? We all know. Bodhati, knowing. He knows. But in this case, it's first person plural. We all know. Clean that up a little. Okay, there. Alright, and then on our English line we write big letter we all, and then we are done, because in first person plural and in second person plural, as we saw in number 2 here, second person plural, you all, there is no gender specification in the pronoun there. So here we know less about who we are. We all know. We all know. Like that. Then we have number 5, twum, and push, yasi. So this is pashati. He sees, but we have an si ending instead for second person singular. So twum fits with that, because that's you singular, you see. So that works well. And the translation then it becomes you see. And then last but not least we have tat bhavati, tat bhavati, and so we can use it here this time, and then it is, so we interpret it as a to be in the of course bhavati sometimes means becoming also, but in this here I'm mostly doing the to be kind of interpretation of bhavati in these lessons here, unless I specify otherwise. But that could be for a future lesson where we have different variants here. I could say tat bhavati with some index here, number 1 or something like that, and then or number 2, and if it were number 2 then you could translate it as becoming or become. But for now we hold with that. So we end up with a sentence, it is then. So that should work, and the good thing here of course this is not perhaps a good example. We can take this discussion later on in regard to B2 sheet. So I'll hold on with what I was going to say, and we are now switching to B2 to see what's going on there. So B2, he knows. So when we do starting with English, our second line is our eswo here. So he knows, and because here we do not have a bracket, or we don't have a pair of parentheses around the pronoun. We do use a pronoun in the Sanskrit, so that's why it becomes clearer. So here, for instance, in number 5 here, I have this syntax here where I use parentheses around the I here, and that means that we should not translate into a pronoun in the Sanskrit. So, but we'll gradually get used to this. This is not very difficult in terms of understanding it. You just do it a couple of times and then everything will be easy. Alright, so he knows, and the pronoun for he is saha, and it's about knowing, so we want bodhati. And since the form is already third person singular, we just use that. And then we render it in saha, and render it in Devanagari here. So we are okay, so just a ti here, t, bodhati, end of sentence. Okay, they all f dwell. Okay, so we do our eswo line. They all f, and then they all dwell. They all dwell. We are clarifying the verb here before we translate it. They all dwell, period, full stop, and then they all f, that's the feminine variant here, so it becomes taha, and then we're doing some dwelling, so that's vasati, but it has to be in plural, vasanti, like that, taha vasanti, and then Devanagari, taha, wa, sa, and NTI here at the end. Right. Number 3, we all speak. Our eswo is we all, and then we all speak. And then we do the pronoun we all is of course vayam, vayam, and we're doing some speaking, so it's vadati, but now we want we all, so we want first person plural, so we have to make the a long here, vadamaha, vadamaha, and then semicolon there. Alright, and then we just, well, it's not always just if you don't know your Devanagari, but still it's all about practice. So even if you're not perfect right now, even if you're not perfectly fluent, then you can, it's just about exercise. It's just keep on going, and then you will be mastering it before you know it. Vadamaha. Okay, so that's number 3 then. Number 4, you all sit. Okay, let's do our eswo, and you all sit, you all sit, and this is yuyam. Okay, yuyam, and then you are doing some sitting, so it's sidati, but we need the second person plural, so it becomes sida ta, T-H-A in transliteration there, and then we do our Devanagari yum, and then we do our long E there, C, da, then we do the ta here, ta. Like that. Little closer. I'll move it a little bit there, so clearer. Okay, and now number 5. We are doing some remembering here, and now here once again then we have a parenthesis, a pair of parentheses around the pronoun, so we don't expand, or we don't use that pronoun. So now we're just using remember down here now, and clarifying that as usual. So, but we know from this information here that it should be I, so I remember. But no separate pronoun. And so then we have smarati, but for first person singular instead of third person. So smarami. So we have to make the A long instead. And we are just writing that in with a S and a ma and a ra, but then we make it long, a, and then we do the mi at the end there. Smarami, something like that. And last one, they all and conquer. So we do our eswo here, they all and then they all conquer. Conquer, and then we have, so it's a neuter plural pronoun, so it becomes tani, and they are doing some conquering. Okay, so it's jayati we need, but we need it in plural, jayanti, like that, and then we do it in Devanagari, tani, and jayanti. Something like that. So let's proofread here. Saha bodhati, number 1. Number 2, taha vasanti. Number 3, vayam vadamaha. Okay. Number 4, yuyam sidata. Number 5, smarami. And then number 6, tani jayanti. Okay, that's all for now, and I hope you have had a good time here, and I hope you remember that all the PDFs are still there. If you want to revisit them, you can load them, you can use them either just by on screen, or you can print them out and work with the exercises on your own without watching the video. But you're always welcome to back to the video anyway. You should know that. And if you have comments and questions, you can leave that in the comments below the video. Okay, so I thank you for watching this, and I hope you will have a good day, and see you later in the next video, which will be lesson 6. Bye bye.